If you're somebody who wants to be a better communicator, but you don't always know what to say to people, this video is for you. Better yet, this entire channel is for you. My name is Dr. Amber. I'm a communication expert, keynote speaker, and executive coach, and I help give people words well said for a life well lived. I want you to have competence and confidence with the way that you communicate, from the boardroom to the bedroom and everywhere in between. And to help you do that, so one of the things that I've learned over my career is that it's not enough to tell people you got to communicate, because communication means different things to different people. Most times we all just grew up repeating the behaviors that we saw in our home, or trying to do those behaviors differently and take a different approach to the way that we communicate. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what I have also come to understand in my 20 years of doing this, helping people become more effective communicators, is that if you're not intentional about working on your communication skills, you're not going to ever really be compelled to improve them until it costs you something. Meaning it might cost you the love of your life, a friendship, or something. Because I always say that whether your relationships succeed or fail, it almost always comes back to something that someone did or did not say. I'm going to repeat that. Whether your relationships succeed or fail, it almost always comes back to something that someone did or did not say. And I want us to be more thoughtful in how we engage with one another and how we talk to each other, because it impacts all of our relationships, personally and professionally. Now, in order to do that more easily, though, well, even before I say that, I also recognize that people don't know where to go. I think, if you didn't study communication in college like I did, I have 2 degrees in communication studies. I have spent so much of my adult life studying the art and the act of effective communication. But if you're not trying to get a degree in communication, I think a lot of people just don't know where to go in order to be better at it, beyond just saying like, oh, I should be a better listener. Sometimes we just throw stuff out there and expect it to land with people, and it takes time. Communication, I like to say, is like building a muscle. You got to lift your weights. You have to lift your little dumbbells in order for your skills to get better and for them to get stronger, so that you can have healthier and more nourishing relationships. So, my solution to that challenge is obviously my life's work. I've been doing this work for a long time, and I've been talking all this time without my mic, but that's okay. I can put it on now. It's fine. Hopefully you've been able to hear me, because the mic has been on, but maybe now you can hear me a little bit better. One of the things that I've done is to make it easier for people are these little conversation starters. Now, they're nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. I'm not the first person to make conversation starters, but I am a communication expert. I know what it takes in order to break through some of these barriers, so that we can, again, lift those muscles and become stronger and more effective communicators. So they're called Can We Talk cards. They're designed to take the guesswork out of small talk. There are 5 editions. There's the kids edition, couples, the social edition for like parties and stuff like that, the office edition for when you're at work with your team, and the womanhood edition. And these are questions that I wish I had asked my grandma before she died, just to help get to know her better as a woman and as a person. You can use all of these cards. There's 50 questions in each deck. You can use all of these cards in a variety of different settings. You don't have to necessarily use them as they are designated, but they are just intended to be a tool to help make it easier. So like I was saying at the beginning of the video, if you're somebody who, if you're someone who isn't necessarily afraid to communicate, but you just don't always know what to say, these cards are intended to make it a little bit easier for you. That's why I say they take the guesswork out of small talk, because sometimes we can get stuck in our heads, or we're just running around in circles in our minds about what we're going to say. And by the time it's time to actually say something, the moment has passed. And I want to make that process a little bit faster for you. So I wanted to introduce these cards to you just in case you didn't know that I had them. You can go to canwetalkcards.com to purchase a deck, or I'll put the link below, obviously, in the description to make it easier for you to go find them. And in the comments below, I want you to tell me what is one of the biggest challenges that you have had with becoming a communicator. And then maybe over time, I can go through some of these cards. Like, let me see. I want you to use these again over brunch, or if there's somebody that you're trying to get to know get someone that you're trying to get to know better, these can be helpful for that. So for example, the womanhood edition, yes, I designed them to get to know my grandma, but even if if you're a man married to a woman, or you want to get to know your mom a little bit better, like you don't have to be a woman to buy this edition.
you can use them to talk to anyone. So this card says, what wounds have I caused you? Oh my gosh. What wounds have I caused you? I imagine an adult daughter and her mom sitting down and going over this question. What wounds have I caused you? I imagine a couple sitting down and going over this question, because sometimes, and I'm going to say this and be honest, that I think that with men, we tend to act like they don't have emotions. Well, men also act like they don't have emotions. So, I mean, 1+1 is 2. But sometimes I think we take for granted that they have feelings, and we don't slow down enough to ask them how they feel. So if I'm a woman and I'm partnered with a man, or if I wanted to get to know my dad a little bit better or something like that, and to ask them, what wounds have I caused you? That you don't know what they're going to say or how that conversation can facilitate healing. It could also facilitate a little bit of challenge too, right? Like, we have to be prepared for conflict sometimes. But the goal with these cards, and I have this little note in each deck that offers you some things to keep in mind. And the biggest thing here is that when you use these cards, they're intended for you not to judge. You shouldn't be judging no how. You shouldn't be taking things personal anyway, but sometimes we do that in our relationships. Effectively, these are a tool to help you learn how to flex your muscle and get better at asking questions. That's the best way, I think, to help you become a more confident communicator. You have to practice that and use the cards to help you do that, and be open to what the other person has to say. This is when you really get a chance to practice your listening skills and paying attention. You're making that eye contact, you're leaning in, you're nodding, you're smiling, or whatever. You're not just waiting your turn in order to reply, but you're listening to understand what they're trying to say. And it's that type of work that can really help you go far. So hopefully I can come back and share some more of these questions. We can do like a question of the day and have discussions about whatever comes up in these cards, and see how we can connect with each other, just even here on this channel. So thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you have a communication related challenge that I can help you with, ask me a question below. I may not be able to get to them all, but not that there's like thousands of people running to ask me questions anyway at this moment, but if you watch this video and you have a communication related challenge, definitely ask. And if I can answer and if I can help you, I will definitely do my best to do so. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure that you're subscribed, that you've turned your notifications on, and share this channel with a friend. And also go get you some cards so you can, on your next date or something, you're trying to get to learn your new bookie. These questions are great for that. Again, no matter what scenario you find you're in, Can We Talk Cards. No matter what scenario you find yourself in, Can We Talk Cards are there to help you take the guesswork out of small talk and get to know the people in your lives. Talk to you guys soon.